The National Governors Association offers an enormous amount of services to governors, their cabinet secretaries, and their staffs. And it's really important to know that while we do major meetings to get governors together, and that's very important, NGA is so much more.
What National Governors Association does is the politics are over. Now let's work on running our states for the improvement of the citizens that we get to serve.
I tell governors, we may not know the answer, we can find the people right away who do know the answer.
The peer group of our nation's governors are pretty darn small, meaning that we have one for each state and territory. And the ability of NGA, both the convening functions for governors to actually get together, share best practices, steal ideas, that is unrivaled, and there's no other avenue to be able to do that.
And the beautiful thing is, you really can't tell who the Republicans and the Democrats are. I mean, if I didn't have a scorecard with the new governors, I wouldn't have any idea.
I think we're all in here to try and get our agenda going, get our initiatives going. And, it doesn't matter to me whether you're Republican or Democrats. Good ideas come from everybody.
I'm a pragmatist, so I love that. It's just picking brains from what's happening and what's working in other states. We're just having a great time and learning the issues and coming up with best practices.
Your fellow governors are essentially a mobile think tank. Being able to call another governor is gold. And without the NGA, I wouldn't have anywhere near the relationships with other governors that I have today.
One of the conversations I had was with Governor Hickenlooper. He turned me on to someone who might be a really good fit for my cabinet. That connection was made, and it wouldn't have been if I hadn't been here.
Not only is it great for the governors to get together and share input and advice, but for the staffs to share best practices and to hear about what it's been like in a different state. How did you deal with this problem or that issue? It's a big part people don't think about. They think it's just the governors that get together, but that's just as valuable.
When you say making life multiplanetary.
Yeah, America is a nation of explorers.
One of the things that the NGA does very well is bring people together, people who work for governors, but also people in the private sector.
The difference with NGA is that the governor's staff that attend, they go very deep on policy issues, and they're, in some ways, the closest you're going to get to the governor. I mean, I always think sometimes staff is better than the governor himself because the governor's dealing with a lot of other things. And a company like Microsoft, we really care about public policy. We care about lots of issues that don't involve us selling to the government.
Broadband has become the electricity of the 21st century.
Sometimes I spend an afternoon meeting with 5 or 6 people that have been lined up by the NGA, and I come around saying, wow, if we'd had to do that ourselves, the hundreds of hours of building all those relationships to set up those kinds of meetings would have been prohibitive.
Having a National Governors Association allows for the private sector and corporate partners to really interact over time.
That's what a blockchain is. It is just a distributed ledger. We all have a copy.
And be able to share the types of activities, projects, programs, and services that the private sector can offer to states. We've been very fortunate that we've had, for example, the president of Ghana, prime ministers from places like Australia and Canada. And what governors find is they learn from those countries, but they also develop relationships.
There are a lot of countries out there that want to do business in the U.S., but they don't know how to do it. And so we wanted to create a clearinghouse with NGA Global that the governments from other places who want to conduct trade missions that come to the U.S. could come to the NGA and they could point them in the right direction.
This is an opportunity in one place to get access to a lot of really important people that may help you do more business and create more jobs in your state.
NGA is really a college for governors that is offering continuing education all the time, where you can learn from your classmates, learn from your professors, and be a better governor.